Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome to my channel Rajiv's Reviews. In this video, I am going to review a book that is wildly popular in India and is even being considered for a movie adaptation in Bollywood. This book is none other than the first book in the Shiva Trilogy, The Immortals of Meluha by Amish. Here's a brief synopsis of the book. The Immortals of Meluha mainly revolves around Shiva, the chief Tibetan warrior who lives with his clan, the Gunas. Now, Shiva and his tribe face a lot of hardships and challenges regularly, and they really don't think that life could get any easier. However, one day a man comes and promises them a better life in this land of Meluha. So, on the surface, Meluha is considered this paradise city which has structured rules and laws, and people live in harmony without facing any problems at all. In fact, they even have their own source towards immortality and they remain young for many years. So Shiva agrees to come to Meluha and he is in awe with how advanced the whole city is. However, he still feels that something is not quite right. He later realizes that the ideal city of Meluha, whose residents are the Suryavamshis, are actually under a terrorist attack with the Chandravamshis. And the Meluhans actually believe that Shiva is the savior who will help them defeat the Chandravamshis once and for all. The story then progresses as to how Shiva adapts to his new life, makes new friends, falls in love, and eventually uncovers a lot of secrets behind Meluha and its citizens and tries to unfold the truth as to what is actually going on. I personally picked up this book because I had heard a lot of hype about it. Honestly speaking, I never really had any high expectations for this book. I thought it would be awful because it is overly hyped and it would be very cliched with a battle of good versus evil and the hero saving the day. However, after reading this novel, I must say I'm very surprised as to how much I enjoyed it. Firstly, I love how all the Hindu mythological deities that we have grown up with are portrayed as human beings that you can actually relate to. In reality, Shiva is depicted as this divine Hindu god, but in this novel, he comes across more or less as an average guy who smokes weed, curses, flirts with girls, and trash talks at times with his friends. That doesn't mean that he is depicted as a very sleazy person throughout the book. He does display good traits of virtue and bravery that makes the reader see him as a good leader. Secondly, I really like Amish's style of writing. I love the world building that's done in this book. The author goes into such intricate details to describe the land of Meluha and all its processes. I was engrossed when Brihaspati talks about how the somras is manufactured and how it works. I also like the history of the rivalry between the Suryavamshis and the Chandravamshis and how it started about. And I was totally glued during the whole war scene where Shiva and his team come up with strategic tactics to attack the Chandravamshis. The pacing is consistent throughout this book and you really don't feel like there is a dull moment at any time. Thirdly, there are some very inspiring and profound dialogues that are exchanged between Shiva and Brihaspati, or Shiva and the Pandit at the temple, which I feel will be etched to my mind for a long time. Brihaspati is actually my favorite character in this book because he is very wise, he's friendly, he's one of those people you just cannot help but love, and he seems to be an overall good guy and a very true supporter to Shiva in this book. But there are a few things that I also did not enjoy about this book. Firstly, the romance between Shiva and Sati seemed very forced and unrealistic to me. Even though it is supposed to be love at first sight, I felt that Shiva only had lustful feelings for Sati for the majority of the book. Secondly, I felt that most of the supporting characters are very cliched and two-dimensional. They are either good or they are bad. They are not someone who's in between. In fact, the only other person other than Shiva who I was actually interested in was the hooded figure or the Naga who makes a brief appearance here and there in the book. However, since he is only seen very briefly in this book, other than Shiva and Brihaspati, I really did not like any of the other characters. And finally, while I liked the author's style of writing and his pacing and the plot of the book, I really felt that he lacked in character development. When one of the prominent characters actually dies in this book, I feel that I was not as upset as I should have been. I felt that the overall story was very action packed and the author focused more on the plot and the action and the pacing, but did not really give time to invest on the thoughts and the emotions of the characters enough for the readers to be invested in it. But overall, I really did enjoy this novel. If you are a fan of Indian mythology or historical fiction or just action and adventure, I think that you will definitely like this book. It definitely surpassed my expectations and I would give it a rating of 3.5 out of 5. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment on the section below with your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for watching and I will see you later. Bye.